The Mediterranean Sea is home to an exceptionally rich and diverse fauna and flora. Today, it is estimated that about 70,000 species live there. The Calanques is both an emblematic terrestrial and marine landscape of Mediterranean Provence. However, as it is located near France's second city in southern France, it is threatened by urbanization, pollution, overcrowding, overfishing, and wildfires.
To protect its exceptional biodiversity, the Calanques National Park was created on the 18th of April 2012. This park is special because it's close to Marseille, a large city with 2 million inhabitants. Moreover, it has a huge marine area which accounts for 93% of the entire surface of the national park.
Despite being located on the outskirts of a major city, the Calanques still remain rather untouched. However, you can find picturesque little fishing harbours like this one throughout the Calanques. The thing is, fishing has always played a major role in the history of Marseille. Let's take a look.
The history of Marseille began when the Phoenicians arrived in 600 BC. They founded the city on the Horn of Lacidon. Their city was already turned towards the sea with some trading activities. Later, the old port was built on the Horn. It's the oldest port in Marseille. Throughout the ages, fishing has always been a major activity in Marseille. Today, Marseille is still much culturally attached to traditional fishing.
I've been a fisherman since 1986.
Moi, ça va faire
I have been selling my husband's fish for about 17 years.
17 ans.
Since when have you been a fisherman?
Since I was 15 years old.
He's 77 years old now. Do the math.
I have been buying fish at the market for 40 years because it's still alive.
It's very important for the park to work with traditional fishing. First, because this kind of fishing is linked to the local culture that the park wants to preserve. Secondly, because this kind of fishing is respectful of the resources. Indeed, traditional fishing allows fishermen to select the species they catch. Therefore, it's sustainable. Today, fishermen collaborate with the park and help it to estimate the resources. Fishermen and the park used to be opposed, now they are partners.
So how did scientists and fishermen come to an arrangement?
On essaye de concilier la protection des patrimoines.
In this park, we try to conciliate nature protection and human activities by making human activities more
On
sustainable.
a tenu compte de critères.
Areas where fishing is prohibited have been chosen firstly according to scientific criteria.
Un habitat qui puisse offrir un bon.
Scientists have been taken into account criteria such as habitat, feeding, and the reproduction rate of fish population.
Très difficile à faire accepter déjà.
It was hard for some fishermen to accept that someone else might decide on regulation concerning their job.
Quelqu'un de différent qu'un pêcheur puisse décider de.
But from the beginning, some fishermen were very enthusiastic to participate in the definition of the zones to protect.
What do fishermen really think about the park? we asked them directly.
The park doesn't bother us, we just go elsewhere.
For us, nothing has changed. At the moment, there aren't a lot of rules.
For them, nothing has changed, neither regarding the practices nor the sales.
On a créé 7 zones de non-pêche.
The no-take zones represent up to 11% of the total area.
Et ces 7 zones de pêche
It's an important percentage compared to other parks in France.
de la superficie totale du cœur. La biomasse en poisson va augmenter.
The no-take zones will increase fish biomass.
Tout d'abord pour les pêcheurs.
In order for fish population to be maintained, the fishing rate cannot be faster than fish reproduction rate.
Et la croissance
Dans un parc national, la logique n'est pas de...
In a national park, the idea is not to put nature in cage. The idea is to maintain anthropic activities while establishing measures to preserve nature.
Des mesures qui vont permettre de conserver l'environnement.
That's why traditional fishing is compatible with environmental conservation.
Dans des mesures. Et on a un recul de
Because Parkrun National Park has existed for 50 years, they have concluded that traditional fishing is compatible with biodiversity conservation.
de l'environnement. Par contre, dans le parc national de
However, it is a success because recreational fishing is not
la
allowed.
pêche de loisirs est très limitée. Il faut distinguer également...
We have to separate two kinds of fishing techniques, professional fishing and recreational fishing. The particularity of recreational fishing is that it's not selective, whereas professional fishermen select their catch with specific tools adapted to each species.
En mettant des engins adaptés à ce qu'il veut pêcher.
Les pêcheurs professionnels qui sont très souvent...
There are often conflicts between professional fishermen and recreational fishermen, in particular because recreational fishing removes as much fish as professional fishing does.
Professionnels, vous imaginez?
Indeed, traditional fishing faces significant competition. Industrial and recreational fishing are the main reasons why incomes are decreasing.
We shouldn't complain about traditional fishing. In fact, it's mainly the big ships which are responsible for most of the damage.
There are too many yachtsmen, but not enough regulation.
The Calanques National Park is taking shape. However, it still has to be modified.
Donc c'est un tout jeune parc qui a moins de 2 ans.
Because it's a recent park, the effects of its management are not yet visible.
Forcément sentir. Dans l'avenir, il faudra
In the future, we will have to establish more precise rules for recreational fishing.
un peu plus fine de ces pratiques.
Despite much pressure and many conflicts, the aim of the Calanques National Park is to preserve both its natural and cultural heritage. However, the evolution of mentalities and practices needs time. Traditional fishing has existed in the Calanques since the foundation of Marseille 2,600 years ago. It depends on the biodiversity of the sea. The challenges of the Calanques National Park are to preserve this activity while protecting nature in a sustainable way.